Well, into our results now, and Raubex saw its interim headline earnings per share inch up to 96 cents. It's under 1% improvement. The group has declared an interim dividend of 30 cents. Chief Executive Rudolph Fourie is with us in studio. The share is down 4% today, Rudolph. It's obviously somebody thought you were going to do a bit better.
Yes, the construction industry space is still under pressure, so we certainly thought the margins is in line with our expectations and satisfactory at the moment. But definitely the construction space is still under pressure at the moment, and it's quite a tough space out there.
Well, I suppose, and you mentioned the margins, when revenue's up about 15% and your operating profit's down 5%, then the crocodile's jaws are going in the wrong direction.
One must just compare apples with apples. The operating profit last year, we took 40 million in from a Free State. So if you compare relative, if you take a Free State money out, which was once off, then the profit is more or less the same.
Just explain that. What happened in the Free State?
In the Free State contracts, we didn't take the revenue before the settlement was reached, and it came in the first 6 months of the previous year's results. So comparing results with results, then the results is very much the same in line with the previous year's 6 months.
All right, so strip out the external part. But what was interesting in these numbers is Raubex.
Yes.
It's pumping now, materials handling side. And if you compare what so many of the construction industries or the disasters that they've had in the materials side, you've managed to do something against swim against the stream here.
Yeah, we're very excited about Raubex results, and it's really the mining and commercial quarry business. They're performing well. We believe they're going to perform well the next 6 months as well. And it's certainly a good sign for our country as well, because it shows there's signs of economic uptick, because that's really the commercial crushes for the building and residential markets as well.
Interesting to see that you're making more from roads in Zambia than you are in South Africa.
Well, it's not only Zambia, it's in Namibia as well. But certainly the space in the South African market, and especially in road construction, is very heavily under pressure at the moment for margins.
Why?
I think it's overtraded. The World Cup, as you know, has created a capacity that was not sustainable. And we've seen it very much overtraded, so there's still just too much tender activity. The volume is still out there. We're happy with the volume is still there. The volume didn't go away. But certainly tender activity is very overtraded at the moment.
So is the increase in volume not good for you?
No, the volume is there. We're just not getting the margin what you would like. You know, there's a few things that need to come to play before it will improve. And the big one is the toll. We need to see the tolling roads to come out on the rollout. We need to see GFIP being tolled, and once that's being tolled, hopefully we'll get some more toll projects.
You shouldn't say that, because that puts you firmly in the wrong camp, I think, as far as the public is concerned.
But the reality of this country is SANRA, or the state, that's the only financial model they can to give us this type of road network or highways, is to make it public funding, to toll it. The fiscal simply haven't got this type of money to pay for the toll projects. That's really the problem. So the only way is to get the user principal pay.
There is an alternative view, but perhaps we'll put that to the one side. E-tolls at the moment have evoked a very emotional response. Have you got your e-tolls, Googs? Me neither.
No.
And
I've certainly got mine. So.
You're in construction. If you didn't have yours, Rudolph, who would?
But I can tell you where to get some as well.
Not yet. Don't you think, though, that the way the public has reacted to this, clearly the whole process has not been ideally handled.
No, I agree.
That it could throw it.
It could have been managed better. I agree with that. But in essence, I don't see the alternative. For us, that's an alternative to toll. I agree, it could have been handled better. It's unfortunately taken a long time to get here. There's a huge public outcry, but I also believe there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think if there was more information to the public, then there would have been more tolerable to it.
Labour unrest is a huge issue,
yes.
And no doubt that also impacted your numbers. Concerns regarding that?
Well, the impact, it actually is going to have an impact on the second half of the results, because it happened in September. We had a 3-week strike in the industry, which I was quite surprised to the extent we had with the 3 weeks and the initial demands on the table. We signed the settlements after that for basically 9% for the lower grades and 10% for the upper task grades. And it's a 2-year agreement, so at least for 2 years we will have some stability now as far as that's concerned.
Just to come back to the tolling, the Western Cape has been affected, no doubt, by what's happening in Gauteng.
Yes. Very much so. You see, the way I read it is we won't see a toll road before we start tolling at GFIP1. Because at this stage, SANRAL needs their funding to pay off their bonds. As soon as GFIP1 rolls out, hopefully the Western Cape, all the ones will carry on. And there's quite a few other projects, toll projects in the design phase already that be rolled out. But they cannot roll that out before the Gauteng freeway is starting to get tolled.
So does that say that until we go and buy our e-tags and until there is settlement reached in Gauteng, that we're not going to get any new roads?
New major roads. New major roads. You see, that's unfortunately the economic reality of this. We need toll to do the type of roads we're planning is the N3 between Durban and Pietermaritzburg. As you know, that road is very heavily trafficked. They want to improve that to a 4-lane, both sides. And they cannot fund that if they can't get the toll process going.
But the N3 is a toll road.
Yes, but the N3 section between Durban and Pietermaritzburg. So they obviously want to...
I pay a toll every time I go.
They obviously want to add a toll gate to that.
They want to add another toll gate?
One. To fund that project, because it's quite a big project.
We're paying a lot of money in the petrol price at the moment, and unfortunately that money is not going into roads. So surely that's where your argument should be, rather than saying let's toll everything.
No, but I mean, the reality is, let's take, for example, GFIP1. Previously from Joburg to Pretoria, we took an hour and a half to commute on R21. Now it takes 30 minutes. Surely there's a saving for somebody in that hour downtime you cut off in a day. And that's unfortunately forgotten because the toll haven't never happened. So there's that type of benefits as well to the toll.